Welcome back to another edition of the Overgrowth SMP. This is Season 2. I'm Roll the Dice. And today we are going to take care of some OCD issues that were driving me nuts. Um, Down here in the mine, we're going to do a little work. And we're also going to repair the looting sword because it's almost busted for the slimes. And I think I've got some books where I can make a looting 3 and put some type of fire aspect on it for cooking up cow meat when I take care of those cows, and that'll give us plenty of meat and plenty of leather and for books and things like that. Um, and we're also going to talk about this slime farm a little bit. I've been getting quite a few questions on how to find the slime chunk, and so we're going to talk about that in a little bit more detail, kind of go over the mechanics of why we're doing it this way, and hopefully that'll help some people out. So let's get started. All up on you. Let's get rid of this F5. Ooh, a little glitch there in the video. Alright, so let's talk about this OCD thing. My ceiling, as y'all can see, I've got 5x5 diorite squares with wood beams, I guess we'd call them. And this is where the wall originally stopped. So I only had one row of diorite, not two, and the wood beam was not showing. It just kind of ended into the wall. And that was driving me nuts. So I wanted to make sure the wood beam carried all the way to the edge. So I went ahead and took out two more on this side and that side, and I had to take out one on that wall and one on that wall to make it to where the beam goes all around the edge. Then I'm going to need to go through and of course take out this stone brick and replace it with diorite, polished diorite, and that will complete the ceiling. I actually have a few more to fill in, a few more squares on that side. There's probably about 8 or so that I need to fill in. Now that did adjust Champo's tunnel a little bit, as his beams were coming out here on this block, which would have stuck out. So we're going to end up moving all this down one block, and it's just going to go to the end of the tunnel right there. It's not going to turn or anything, and this is actually going to work out pretty good. I've already taken the wood blocks out, but I'm going to need to move the glass, the leaves, and the glowstone back one. Back here you can see we had a wood beam, then we've got 5. I believe normally we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then a wood beam. Well, this one, just the way it worked out for the turn, we had 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to move this down one. That'll put the glass here, a wood beam here, and that'll give us 5. So it's going to work out perfect as far as taking care of this oddball section here. I'll do that a little bit later, though. First thing we want to do is talk about the slime chunk, how to find it, how to mark it out, things like that. So the first thing I did when I came down here, we've talked about this in prior episodes, I cleared out a large area for the mine, 3 high. I actually went 4 chunks by 4 chunks. That gives me a total of 16 chunks. Slime chunks have a 1 in 10 chance of spawning in when the chunks are built. So with 16 chunks cleared out, I have a decent percentage that I'm going to get a slime chunk within those 16 chunks. You can make it bigger than that if you want to, but that should be good enough. The next thing I did is, once I've got the area cleared out, I want to make sure that it's 3 high. The large chunks, not the large chunks, but the large slimes, they need a 3 high air gap in order to spawn. 3. And they'll you know they spawn in the overworld in swamps. I believe there has to be a light level of 7 or below in order for them to spawn in the overworld up top on the surface in a swamp biome. However, in a slime chunk, they can spawn anywhere from level Y0 to Y40, and light level does not matter within a slime chunk at those 0 to 40 Y levels. So the first thing we want to do is we want to find out where the chunk is, section it off, build our slime farm around that chunk. They will spawn from 0 to 40. They need 3 high air gap. I'll show you what we've got going on with the inside of the farm here in a second, but let's talk about how to find the chunk. So we've got this large area filled out. I've got some fences on me just to kind of give you a little demonstration of what I did, and we're just going to use this large area over here since that chunk's kind of in the middle of everything, and it would be kind of clustered if we did it anywhere else. But let's say that this is a slime chunk here. What we need to do is find out where that chunk starts and where it ends, and we'll do that with F3. So if I pull up my F3, I can look at the numbers on the left. About 5th from the bottom it says chunk. Okay, it tells me which chunk block I'm on, and you can see as I move around, if I go this way, which is west, my first number to the right of the chunk starts going down. So I want to go down to 0. There we go. Now I'm going to turn, and I'm going to go this way until the third number gets to 0. Right here. I'm going to place a fence post there, 0, 0 for that chunk. Alright. So a chunk goes from 0 to 15. That's actually 16 blocks when you count the number 0. So we're going to go out this way, stay on this line till we get the second number, actually the third number to the right of chunk, until it gets to, what was that, 0. We need to put that at 15. Not 0, but 15. Probably the best way to do it would be to start over here at 0. 0, 0. This one. Alright, that's 0, 0. I'm going to go this way till I get to 15. I'm going to go this way to the right until I get to 15. That's going to be the first number going up. Oops, I just passed it. It's this one. So we've got 3 corners there. And then from here, since I'm on 15, I'm going to go that way till I get to 0. I'm sorry. The third number is at 0. I'm going to go this way till I get to 15. And it should be right in line with the other one. Yep. So now I've got my corners done. I would just fence this in all the way. I don't have enough fence posts to do this, but I think you'll get the idea. Close it all off, each direction, and totally encase this thing. Got another slime coming in. I would totally put a fence around this, and then I move on to the next chunk, and I would fence that in. Since this is 0, I would go this way until it got to, was that 0 or was that 15? 0. So the next chunk would actually be with this would be 15. I would come back this way until my third number got to 0 here, and that would mark out the next chunk. So that's basically 16 blocks from that fence post to this fence post, I would simply bring it this way, even with this, put down a fence post, and extend my fences down. That would seal in a second chunk. And I would do that for a lot of the chunks in here. And then I would just come down here and wait for a slime to spawn. And it's going to spawn in one of the chunks if there is a slime chunk down here. And when it does, it's going to be trapped inside the fences. You'll know that that's your slime chunk. Okay, once you've got your slime chunk figured out, well, before we take any of that down, let's go look at some of this stuff. And let's kill this bad boy first. Do I got my looting sword on me? Yes, I do. Yeah, this is getting worn down pretty good. I try to catch these slimes every time I see one. I don't want to let them despawn. You can tell that medium-sized one despawned already because I was far enough away from it. And we're getting there. So once I find my slime chunk, I'm going to go up this ladder a little bit so you can see. What I did is I built a pad. This pad is 16 by 16 in the chunk. Then I came out from the pad and dug out 3, and that's where my water channel is going to go. So the water channel that goes around this is actually just outside the slime chunk. And I believe I put 4 high air gap just to be certain that I could get the large slimes to spawn in here. And again, light level doesn't matter, so I went ahead and lit it up because I don't want any other mobs spawning in here. I don't want any skellies, I don't want creepers, zombies, anything like that. Endermen can spawn in here, but as soon as they hit the water, they'll disappear. So then I go up and make another floor, 16 by 16, keeping the exact same outline, and make it 4 high gap. That's another spawning pad. I go up another 4 and make another one, another 4 and make another one, and all the way around it, all the way down to the water, you just take out 3 wide. And what that does is it gives them a chance when they spawn on the pad to jump off, and it gives them an area, an air gap, a 3 wide air gap to fall down to the water, and then the water streams will carry them. So that's the gist of the slime farm. How to find the chunk, and then once you find it, to build it. Basically with the, let me see if I can stack up a little bit here and show you the water. The water is not the cleanest. There's plenty of ways to do it, but I'll show you what happens when water meets its dead end. So basically what I do is I would put water down. It would go in both directions, and on the back side, I think what it is, I put half slabs down first, then I put water on top of the half slabs, and the block behind it and up one, I put a sign all the way across. There's 3 signs, and that keeps the water from flowing that direction if I was going to do it that way. So water will only flow in one direction when you do that, and it's going to come to an end point, and it actually ended right here. Was the last block the water was on. So what I did with the last block the water was on is I put another set of slabs. You can barely see my sign. Let me take a F3 off. You can barely see my sign there, but I have 3 signs going across to keep the water from flowing back this way. I put water buckets on top of each of these slabs, and that lets the water kind of go up on top of the slab here, but it doesn't flow backwards. It just keeps going that direction. Makes a turn, got more slabs, more signs, and the signs just keep it from going backwards. I think this is what was my starting point here, so I wanted water to flow in both directions for this one. Let's see. Nope, my starting point was in this corner. So I've got water flowing this way and water flowing that way. Yep, that's what I did. So water comes up to here, Got my signs. Put my my slabs down, my water bucket's on top, water continues to flow. And basically this way was the same direction. Water flows this way, half slabs, signs right here on this block, the second block up. It keeps the water from flowing backwards once I place water on top of these slabs, and it just continues to flow this way. There's this large slime there. Now the slimes also have their AI is a little bit different now. Yeah, you know, in the past they just always kind of congregated in a corner. Well, now they hop 2 or 3 times and they change directions. So sometimes they'll get kind of hung up in the water stream, but eventually they'll hop in the right direction. The water stream will carry them down. And when they do that, they end up in our collection area. And that's nothing more than 9 hoppers feeding into a chest. I keep a looting sword down here specifically for the slimes and only the slimes. So he's too far away for me to hit right now, but he'll change directions in a second. He'll end up hopping a different direction. Eventually he'll hop towards me. There, he changed directions, but he's still too far out. He changes again, and now he's closer. So once we kill these suckers, all the hoppers pick up the slime balls, and we can turn them into slime blocks. Now, not a whole lot of people on the server have slimes yet, so this is a pretty good item to sell right now. I've already sold about 3 stacks. Each stack goes for 6 diamonds. Somebody set the market at that. I agreed to it. They agreed to it. And so when I sell them for 6 diamonds per stack. The rest of them I'm making these slime blocks out of. Who knows, maybe we'll open up some type of a slime shop or something. So that's it in a nutshell for the slime farm. I'm going to do the tunnel stuff off camera, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like afterwards. This lava pit just never seems to end, but I think I'm getting close to it. I thought this thing was only a real small lava pit, but it keeps going. You can see there's some more back there. There's one in here. I don't know how far back that way it goes, but I got a few more source blocks here. It's starting to finally creep back this direction. It started out up here. All this was lava. So it's been a good little source, and I came across another one over here that I can use once it's gone. Is that another? Sure is. Looting. I need to repair this looting sword, probably put a diamond or 2 into it just to keep it fresh. And like I said earlier, when I killed the cows for the steak and the leather, I want to use looting on that as well. I've been just using my normal sword, which has fire aspect on it. It does not have looting, so I only get 1 piece of leather when I do get leather most of the time, and only 1 or 2 steaks. But if I can get a looting 3 sword and put a fire aspect on it, it will also cook the meat and give me tons of meat and leather. And that's the idea. So I'm going to go upstairs. We're going to make a trip up to the mob grinder and check and see what books we have. I built a couple of ender chests as well. Put one here in the base and put some diamonds in it and some lapis just in case we run out up top. The only thing I've done here inside the house is put a floor in, which is grass, and I kind of like the green. I like the natural feel of it. I still need to do something with the walls and the ceiling, but I haven't come up with a decision on how I want to do that yet. So there's plenty of blocks to choose from. And then I also need to glass in this front and put a door somewhere. I'm thinking about digging out that direction when we get the villagers going and put a villager breeding system back inside the mountain, and then our iron golem farm out here in the swamp. Alright, let's go. It's about to get dark. Let's check on our cows. We got plenty of those suckers. I usually keep some saplings in the ground here because I'm going through the leaves and the wood like it's going out of style. I don't recall if in previous episodes I showed you the grinder in its finished condition, but I did add some trees up here. We added the enchanting table setup, and we replaced some of the drop chute blocks at the bottom with obsidian. We did have a couple of explosions, and yeah, it tore it up pretty easily, so I want to get rid of that cobble out of there and put in some obsidian just to help protect it a little bit and make sure we keep the mobs in there. Just about there. Alright, so we got a little bit of greenery up here. Oh, I was wondering, what is all those particles for? But that's from the ender chest. Okay, and I believe, yeah, we're the only one on, so we should get some mobs coming up here pretty good. I've been doing fishing rods, trying to get some decent fishing rods, and I did get one that was, Lure 3, Luck of the Sea 3, and Unbreaking 3. I've got that down in my fishing chest. Heard some noises. Alright, so here's a Looting 3 sword. We need to see if we have a fire aspect. I love that Depth Strider, by the way. Fortune 3, I saved that for Champo. He was needing one. Flame. It's not going to help me. That's another Fortune 3. Lure, flame. No fire aspect. Let's see. I know we put a few of those lower ones in here. Nope. No fire aspect yet. Ooh, what's that book? Breaking. I don't think we filled any of the other ones in. We need to get some signs on these and start organizing these books eventually. Alright, so I'm going to have to hold off on that. I've got some levels. Maybe I'll stay up here and knock out some of these mobs and just enchant some books and see if I can't get a fire aspect 1 or a fire aspect 2. Put it on that looting sword. I guess our anvil broke. Somebody used it. It's a good thing we've got some extra iron in our ender chest. Let's see. 3 iron blocks, I believe. And this T formation will give us an anvil. And I'll put the extra iron in here. It's our witch drops and some of our zombie stuff. Alright. I didn't bring my looting sword with me. I've got an anvil set up in the base. I will probably repair that down there with a couple of diamonds, just add a couple of diamonds to it to give it a little bit more durability. Alright, so I'll check back in with you in a little bit. I'm just going to be grinding away here, killing some mobs and enchanting books, and I'll let you know when we have something halfway decent. I'll be back in a little bit. Alright guys, I'm back. We went through several books here. I'm down to my last 3, and I finally got one that has fire aspect 1 on it, so that's something we're going to combine on the anvil with the looting sword, and let's do that now. I need to go get some more leather and make some more books anyway. Looting 3, we're going to use the fire aspect. There we go. 6 levels. I'll need to get that back. These in here. And yeah. So we got our fire aspect sword. Let's go check that bad boy out. Get some leather. I'll get some wheat real quick and we'll breed our cows. And we'll go ahead and kill off the big ones, the fully grown ones. And we'll see what kind of loot we get from it, and we'll call it an episode. Some wheat. Alright. Yeah, increasing the size of my wheat farms really helped out because the wheat was coming by really slow. I was finding myself running out of it. And I won't use it all in here for sure. There's not enough cows in here for me to breed them all and go through all the wheat. And we'll get through a large portion of it. Run around in here, see if we missed any. A few we missed. Alright, we almost got through a stack of it. So let's start in the corner over here. Kill off bigger cows. Now I did have some steak on me at the time. I didn't look to see, but I probably had about 16. So that already gave us almost a stack of leather. So some more of these big ones get back here in the corner. Yep, over a stack. So that works out. I'll save the rest of these, let them grow up. And probably need to keep this inside with the wheat, I'm guessing. That way whenever I go to breed them, I've got to come get wheat anyway. So let's see, and I'll just use that sword on them every time. Let's get a little more cane. Cane, as you can see, is not a big farm at all, but I don't use a whole lot of it right now. If I get to a point where I'm using a bunch, I will make the farm a little bigger. But yeah, I'll make some more books, replenish those, put them in the ender chest, and we'll be ready to go next time. Let me put these there. Let me swap these out and take the 19. And it won't be long and we're going to have a bunch of this. I probably ought to put a couple, well, at least one in the ender chest. That way I can put it up top. This extra piece of leather down here. Alright guys, I think we're going to wrap it up there. This Friday, a couple days away, we're going to make a trip to the end. We're going to kill the dragon, and then we'll start working on an Enderman farm. I think I'm going to let the other people who haven't participated in making an Enderman farm make that. There are some that have made it, and they'll probably take the lead on it, and we'll let some of the people who haven't made it before chip in and help. Of course, if they need some help, I'm more than willing to go up there and help out with it. That way we can all have a good supply of ender balls, and we'll have another XP farm to work with as a community. So until next time, we'll see you then. Take care.